Good evening. Welcome to Platform Media International, and this is the community service. Today, we are off and running to the event organized by the SOROPTIMIST International or SURI Data in response to the needs of girls, especially girls, women who have been battered, abused, and used, in order for them to have a second chance in the community where they live. SOROPTIMIST International put up an event to raise funds to help women who have suffered abuse, neglect, and also recovering from all kinds of drugs and other things in the society. Platform Media International, in response to the needs of our community where we operate from, choose to partner with SOROPTIMIST International for these events in order to give a helping hand to women and girls who are in need. We are off to this event at a very serene function that was put together in one of the suburbs in Surrey, in Vancouver. Happy viewing.
Set up.
Number 5.
If you get bored, you can read it later.
Yeah. Bindi. Yeah. You know what? That's very true. So this just stays there.
Very nice.
Member of Legislative Assembly of British Columbia, Marvin Holt. Welcome to Platform Media International.
Thank you.
The SOROPTIMIST International have been doing a lot of work on empowering women. As a matter of fact, we inaugurated a session last year. It's getting bigger. Their duty is empowering women. What do you feel, in your own opinion or assessment, is the challenges that SOROPTIMIST face in empowering women in our community?
Well, I think some of the challenges are centered around self-esteem, self-respect, and then that leads to education and all those other things. But if we start with women who don't respect themselves, because maybe they've had a broken home, maybe they've had, bad examples, role models for themselves, it's hard for them to go anywhere because they don't know there's anywhere to go. And that's the first piece of the puzzle I think that we need to focus on is dads and fathers and families. And that families, it's important for families to love and value and cherish our girls.
Because I was speaking to somebody just outside there. That's like, oh, empowering women. It's like women are the only victims, right?
Yeah.
You see that. But reality says that there are also men who are victims.
Oh, absolutely. And I think what we've got to do is we've got to recognize that children can be victims if the father is not the father. And I put a lot of emphasis on the father because mums always are there, right? Mums are there. You got single mums, all those kind of things. How many single dads? We don't have as many, right?
That's right.
And dad's the one that leaves, they have children and he heads off to go have more children instead of being a father. And I think that's the most critical piece is for both boys and girls they need a father, and they need the strength of that relationship then to be able to build. And that's where SOROPTIMIST comes in, because they want to reach out to women to help them, to give them the tools and the equipment that they need through mentoring, through relationships, ultimately through finances, and helping them to be educated so that they can become everything that God intended them and gifted them to be. And so that's where it's a hand-in-glove situation of working together to help those who are, for whatever reason, have been disadvantaged. Let's help them to get up on their feet so that the next generation doesn't have to repeat the previous generation.
I just spoke to one of the awardees tonight. Her name is Courtney. He
Yeah.
said she virtually was nobody. At the age of 15, she had a baby.
Yeah.
And now she's back going to college. Now, SOROPTIMIST is coming in at the time that people needed it.
Yes.
Now, reaching out to girls who are misled or who are out of the cracks.
Yeah.
Now, could we have something like curing the effects rather than curing the cause rather than the effects? Reaching out to these young ladies before it becomes too late.
Well, but I think that's what tonight was about, because tonight began with respecting our daughters. Okay, and I really appreciated the father of the lady who organized this event tonight. The father was there, and although he was speaking in Punjabi and I didn't understand what he was saying, I know from my Punjabi friends that what he was saying was he was talking about the role of fathers and who the father needs to be, and that sometimes in our cultures we're raised with slightly twisted perspectives because of our culture, and for example, valuing boys more than girls, those sorts of things. And that no. Your children are your children. They are all to be valued and cherished and to be nurtured so that they can become all that they've been equipped to become. And that's the critical piece. So that's where it started. So yes, we have to recognize we want to stop the problem. But by the same, and so that's where the focus needs to be on fathers and family. However, we are dealing in the challenges of today, and that's where SOROPTIMIST is coming in as well to help today's challenged women to be able to give them the potential. Because, many times the woman is despised and looked down on. And so it's very important, and they're doing a very great function in the midst of our community.
Thank you very much, sir. I have to even congratulate you. This is my first time of seeing you after you graduated from being a counselor to dimension.
No, not graduated, moved over to. Yes. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Always a...
From Media International. You just finished delivering a speech at the SOROPTIMIST of International Empowerment for Women.
Yes.
And what's your role here? What was your speech all about?
My speech was about how education changed my life and saved my life.
It's quite inspiring that such a show is coming to our community, people with cultural background. I am from Africa, you're from India, right? I suppose, or from Pakistan, wherever. The deep cultural heritage that these people have. And it is often speculated that men are more powerful. The culture is centered among men. Now, when this particular issue came up last year, the question I asked is that would this community accept empowerment of women?
Absolutely, yes.
They do. Because men feel challenged. People who are from these cultures where men are more powerful.
Yeah. I was born in Kamloops. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born here.
All right, because you dressed like...
Yeah, my friend dressed me up. She knew the event I was coming to, so she...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I take it like...
That's okay.
Okay, so I try to see a lot of empowerment given to women, especially people who are recovering from drugs, people who are battered, who are suffering one discrimination or the other. Where do you see this SOROPTIMIST event in the next 5 years?
I see it bigger. I see it better. I see more people coming. I just know that when we help one woman, it spreads out and helps entire communities in our country. It's got a really big ripple effect.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, because it says train a woman and you train the whole village, right?
That's right.
Okay. So, given what has happened here today, and I know that one of the founders is Sandhu, Anita Sandhu. She's of Indian heritage, and the father is also here too. When you were contacted, I know in our community here in Surrey, we see a lot of children who are displaced, either because of crime or
Yes.
drugs and all that.
Yes.
So, do you think this will be overreaching out to a lot of people?
I think so. A lot of the women that SOROPTIMIST helps, they come from a variety of challenges, not just drugs and alcohol or poverty, a variety of challenges. So when women are educated, they can take better care of their children, they can take better care of their families. Some of these children that we see are displaced because their parents can't take care of them for a variety of reasons. But when we start to help a woman and heal a woman, we heal their entire families. It might take a while, but we're on the right track. And this will gain momentum.
Okay. You know, my fear, well, the challenges I see that it faces, because I just mentioned before about people from cultural background where men are dominant, right? So I asked one of the founders last year when we were at this event that given that, do you see a kind of resistance
From men or from the community?
from the community and men?
Possibly for men. I'm not really interested in what they're doing right now, though. I'm interested in empowering and lifting up the women. That's just the truth.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank you for the good job. To Platform Media International, we just finished delivering a lecture being a dad to my daughters. How challenging is that in a society like this?
To be a dad, it can be very challenging. Right now, I find a lot of culture, the way things are, women are having kids on their own. There's not a lot of respect for fathers. It's everybody can do things without the dads. And so to stand up and step up, I really honestly believe that every child needs a dad, needs a father, needs a strong male figure in their family to help guide them. They need the perspective from both sides. So to be a dad, sometimes it can be tough.
Given what SOROPTIMIST is organizing now, empowering women, does that come in conflict with what being a dad?
Does it conflict with it?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think specifically when you look at what we're doing here today, it's respecting our daughters and it's honoring dads.
And also respecting
So-
wives and wives.
And absolutely, it's about respect, and I don't think that when we're talking about a culture of respect, it ever demeans anybody. It, like they say, a high tide raises all ships. So
It has to be mutual.
yes, absolutely, and as everybody learns and shows respect, everybody becomes society improves.
One question I keep asking is this: give, for instance, in Surrey here, we will have a lot of Asian community where the culture tend to have men in dominant position in family affairs. Would that be a challenge for SOROPTIMIST?
I can't. It's difficult for me to say.
Trying to be politically correct.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, as well, I don't come across that as much with myself. I mean, I have been treated very, very well my whole life by everybody around me. So, by the women in my life. Yeah, with the male-dominant cultures, yeah, sometimes it's more challenging. It's, the cultures from, South Asia can be prejudiced, and I don't know the truth about them because I've never been there, but I know there's a prejudice that perhaps they don't have a lot of respect for the women and for the children as much as we'd like to think. And so, but when you see a crowd like here tonight, I think it breaks down some of the barriers and it gets people talking, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
And the truth is
So-
that the whole thing is about breaking barriers and having respect for each other.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you very much. Okay, how are you?
I'm good.
You're one of the awardees tonight, and the SOROPTIMIST night. So what made you, what was the reason why you qualified to be awarded tonight?
Why I qualified to be awarded tonight was because my story and where I came from and how I got here. When I was about 15, I had my son, and I wasn't in school at the time. I was in foster care, just, not living a good lifestyle. I was the drugs, the alcohol, the bad friends, everything from jail to, not having a relationship with my mom. It was just a little bit of everything, that snowball effect, and then...
The way you're saying it, like we are seeing it all, right?
Yeah, it's everything, a little bit of everything, like...
And that we're standing here today is a testament to the fact of your willpower. Right?
Yeah, oh, for sure.
How were you able to do that?
Pardon me?
How were you able to overcome these battles?
The tenacity that I have, the willpower to just keep going. I wanna make a change. I don't want that lifestyle anymore. I never did. So it's, I don't know.
Now, SOROPTIMIST is giving empowerment to women.
Yes.
You think it's the right thing to do, right?
Oh, for sure.
And what does that do for women, empowering them?
Empowering them, it makes a difference.
Self-esteem.
Pardon me, self-esteem, yeah, it makes me feel like I'm worth something, that's for sure. Like someone believes in me, and then that gives me the opportunity to show another girl or even my own son, for a matter of fact, that like anything's possible, and stay strong.
It should be a kind of a motivational story to hear your story and see how you cross the bar.
Yeah.
And how you have been able to come to this point where you are today. It's kind of can motivate people.
Yeah.
You see yourself doing that in the near future?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. I won another scholarship that it plays a role in that we have to give back to our community after. And I mean, I hope to do it. I'm waiting to start school, actually. I start in college. College, yeah. I start in September, and I start my diploma program, and then I move on to do my Bachelor's of Science. And I hope to become an optometrist one day. So, yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah. Yeah, a little different. Every time I tell somebody that's what I'm doing, they're all like, what? Eye doctor, right? I'm like, yes, optometry.
So why did you choose what to major?
Honestly, I couldn't even really tell you, except growing up, I always felt that there was something more to your feelings and your eye color. I always thought there was something more to it, because I always noticed that when I was upset or crying or even in a really good mood, my eyes were green more when compared to being dark brown usually. So I've always been so interested in that, and I really wanted, maybe there's information on that somewhere. You never know, but I don't know. It was just...
If you see a young kid, a girl of 15 today, trying to be naughty, what's going to be your advice to her?
Let's say that one more time.
When you see a girl of 15 today trying to be stray from the right track,
Yeah.
what's going to be your word to her? What are you going to say to her?
What am I going to say to her to steer her on the right track?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would just say don't give up. Like, anything's possible, and the grass is always greener on the other side. It is, and there's more to life than what you're doing right now. Like, there's so much more, and there's so much to appreciate and be grateful for. And I mean, being where I am now, I really wish that I knew everything back then. But it made me who I am. So who would want to change that? So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Last year, we were at this particular event. On the outside part of Seoul. And this year, it's a bigger event. How did they pull that out?
I think when your passion shines louder than what you want to do, I think everything just kind of comes together. So, yeah, I'm really big on respecting our daughters and making a change and educating the father and father figures in our community and kind of honoring the dads that are doing a great job and the dads that probably need a little bit help. Allowing these dads that are doing a great job, kind of giving them that leadership role, leading by example.
Now, the question I want to ask, this community is dominated by the South Asian community. We know the deep cultural background that men tend to be from, tend to dominate. Empowering women, do you see conflict with that? Empowering women?
I mean, time has changed. This is not just a South Asian event. It's actually very diverse. It's for all men. And it's basically I feel like there's a lot of events for women to empower women and have women unity. And I felt like there wasn't enough stuff to the men. And I know I'm daddy's girl and I'm very close to my dad. And I wouldn't be the woman I am today if it wasn't for my dad's support. And I'm also in media and working the job that I do. I see a lot of women that come to me and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, my dad always told me I can't do this, or my dad told me I'm not good enough. So the objective is to really educate these men that your words matter. When you say something that's so negative, they really impact that little girl because that's what their belief system becomes.
Okay, I saw one of the awardees tonight, Courtney. She told me powerful stories of where she was before and where she has sat now. That's very inspiring to a lot of people who are watching and get straight. And the question I ask them is, if you see a young girl on the streets, what do you say to her? He says, well, I say the grass is greener on the other side. Now, more women are suffering a lot of discrimination, violence in the community. How do you reach out to those ones? Give me what you put together tonight.
It's basically, if we can just change one person's life and that one person will change the next person's life, it's like a domino effect. So we know the issues that are in the community, we know the problems, but it's about being proactive and being solution-based. Yes, we know there's domestic violence. Yes, we know there's abuse and there's women that are being victimized. But also, if we give people the education and the solutions of the problem, I feel like creating change would be be like a larger spectrum, opposed to just saying, okay, this is our problems. Okay, yeah, we get these are the issues we have. Let's move forward. How are we going to overcome these issues? How are we going to empower and educate men as well? Because sometimes, I mean, these women are raising these men as well. So it's kind of like we're trying to do both at once. We're trying to educate and empower men and give women the educational scholarship, the women that never had the opportunity in life to become something, to be self-sufficient and have their self-dignity.
Now, that's the next question I was going to ask when you brought it up. Because the first time I did the show, so empowering women, what about the men?
It is. So that's our motto. So respecting our daughters. It's about educating and empowering father and father figures in a female's life. So that is our purpose, is to educate these men. So all the money raised goes towards women's education scholarship. But our night is basically, like I said, is to honor all the fathers that are doing a good job, and is to empower the fathers that need assistance.
Okay. So the money you're raising, is it just from sponsorship or donors? Is government chipping in at all?
So we have our key sponsors. So we have Mahindra Jewelers that sponsored us. We have Coast Capital, Maz's Pharmacy. We have Snapchat Studio. We have great sponsors that have kind of been our backbone. So other than our key sponsorships, we also have people that are buying tickets, and all the ticket sales after we cover the cost of our food, obviously, strictly goes to the Women's Educational Scholarship.
What gives you the inspiration to go into this?
My drive is my dad. I've always been daddy's girl, and I'm so blessed to have an amazing dad, and I see the need. And when girls come to me or women come to me saying, you know what, like my dad always told me I couldn't do it, my dad told me I'm not good enough, is giving them that tool that, hey, you know what, you have the opportunity, you do, and just giving these dads and father figures that opportunity that, hey, you know what, your words matter, your role is important in the community.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed yourself just like I did. I was in that event where Anita Sandhu and my very good friends in the SOROPTIMIST International put up a very, very good event where money was raised to help the women. And as you can see in this video clip, the keynote address was given by Dr. Santos Singh Janju. That's the father of Anita Janju. And Mary Pitcher, SOROPTIMIST International Suri Data, was also who also spoke on how SOROPTIMIST International is contributing to the community. And also you can also see Charles Cutley, who Living a Dream Award winner of 2015, also on how education saved life. We also have Noor Sahon, I hope I got that correctly, Living Your Dream Award winner 2013, on how education has also changed my life. And one of the other speakers, as you can see there, is Mark Laforge, who is a BC Correction Officer, who also gave a speech on being a dad to my daughters. We can't thank Anita Sandhu enough, because that was an event that she put together in a very convivial atmosphere where guests had a very good dinner and also were able to make some contribution towards the very sociable and community helping event put up by SOROPTIMIST International. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself just like I did. And again, we'll be back next year because we are volunteered to partner SOROPTIMIST International in this worthy event. With that, I say I'm yours sincerely, Joe Ehizode, wishing you a happy good night rest. Good night.